This channel's a lot of work. Not this part. This is the fun, easy part where I get to goof around with you and bring you the news. Only the very serious news that shows that Trump remains in total control of the United States and therefore the world. His management style is amazing. Of course, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Yes, he's coarse. Yes, I would like a little more information on this Iran thing. You know, they could come out and tell the people what's going on, but at the same time, you don't want to telegraph to your enemy what's going on. So I trust him. Do you guys trust Trump? Give us a thumbs up. It's time to do the thumbs up thing, guys. Give us a thumbs up if you trust him. I think we're in good hands. I do think we're going to war. I don't know if they'll ever call it war. They might call it I don't know, a distant bombing or a cleanup campaign. But we are going to militarily hit Iran unless they change their position on developing nukes, which they've said is a red line. They're not going to stop developing uranium enrichment, their ballistic missiles. These are things that keep the Ayatollah, their leadership in power. So they have to be red lines. They can't give those things up or they will lose control of their country, and they know it. So right now, they want us to attack them. It's the only play they have. And then they can come and before their own people say, okay, now what do you want? Okay, you hit us hard. Now we'll come to the table. They're still not going to give up those other, they might as well hold on to that nuclear facility because they'll die. They will get kicked out by their own people and probably killed in the streets by freedom fighters. Coffee, double espresso, my people. Now to you, the chat. Yes, they can't be trusted. I hope you guys have enjoyed the videos that we did today because, man, that first video I did, I was cracking up on the conspiracy that Trump is only going to doing military incursions into Iran to cover up for his botched release of alien files. That is the kind of low rent, fast food that you guys are given as the truth. No named sources, of course. No one named. No source, no proof, no facts. And that's the problem. And you guys have all said in the chat too, we love talking aliens. I love talking about aliens. I don't believe in them, but I think we've been fed a steady diet since probably the late 60s, early 70s on pondering where's the aliens and who's doing what. Yeah, here's you guys. Trump is the best president ever. Oh, look, someone out there's drinking coconut milk. I just had I'm on a serious, I'm not a health kick guy. I'm 6'8". I was never that athletic and I'm training for a marathon. And this morning, the beloved Miss Tenaple and I ran 4 miles. I followed her. I said, you go and I'll follow. I'll do whatever you do. We ran 4 miles. It's 22 degrees in Tennessee. I ran 4 miles in 22 degrees. Guys, I thought I was screaming the whole time during the run. Who lives here? Remember, I have weak, thin California blood. I have weak, pampered, elitist California blood. And I'm running in 22 degrees. I'm just screaming, who decides to live? Who would establish this state where you walk outside and you die? 20 degrees, there's only so long you can stay in 20 degrees before you die. In Trump we trust, says MAGA Justin, $5 super chat. Thank you for that, buddy. That is true. I trust Trump. I really do. And I'm a pretty not trusty guy, but there's something about Trump where I go, the alternatives are guys like Barack Obama, guys like Joe Biden, women like Kamala Harris, and I have no problem trusting Trump. more than that. I'm thrilled he's in office. Now, this first clip is very interesting to me. He says he doesn't know how long he's going to be around. This is after the third attempt on Trump's life this weekend, where someone brought a shotgun to Mar-a-Lago, and thank the Lord, Melania wasn't there. Trump wasn't there. We're going to go into a little bit more of that. But I just found Trump's response here very interesting. This is an 11-second clip. Listen to this.
I don't know how long I'll be around. Got a lot of people gunning for me, don't I? Huh? But I will not forget them. I'm never going to forget them.
I don't. He said the sound was very quiet on that. He says, "I don't know how long I'm going to be around. I don't know how long I'm going to be around." And he said it in kind of a quiet tone. He knows that his days could be numbered, given the Democrats are so violent against him and so hateful against him. You know, he has to be right 100% of the time to live. And a Democrat only has to be right once to take him out. That's what we're up against, guys. So to me, one of the reasons I trust Trump was when he took a bullet the first time and he stood up and said, fight, made a fist. He didn't cower. He didn't say, everyone jump on me, Secret Service, cower and crawl off a stage. He stood up and pumped his fist. So I think he's willing to sacrifice his life to be our great president. I think he's willing to sacrifice his life. And I mean today, not just 2 years ago when he took the bullet. I think his response here of someone going to his house with a shotgun, and they took him out, took that shooter out. And so this is also a reminder that we must be praying for President Trump. I don't want to say that as a superstitious, try and get you all ginned up with the spirit and all that. That's not what I do. I have a very sober prayer every morning, sometimes out loud, and I'll just go, Lord, protect President Trump. Lord, protect President Trump. Or Lord, I pray for this country. If for those of you who have not prayed, you might want to try that. And I say it out loud. Lord, protect the president. It's not that I believe that prayers are magic. I don't believe God is my genie. I don't believe he does my will. My goal is to do his will. But he said in all things pray. All things we should be praying about. And so to me, I'm not a religious nut. I am religious, but I'm not a religious nut. Now, I want you to compare. But we're going to do a real fun comparison real quick. Did you guys give me a thumbs up yet? Thumbs up. I got 1,600 people watching simultaneously. That's a huge audience. 1,600 people watching. I want 1,600 people to give me a thumbs up if you can. And that will really push this episode out to all the subscribers. That's how this works. YouTube values your eyeballs and your engagement. And you guys give me feedback on your experience too. Someone said yesterday, hey, I got away from my computer. I was listening to the show, but I got away from the computer and I went and I was making dinner, and suddenly it starts showing ads in my ear. Like every time I'd get up, if I wasn't looking at the computer, it would run an ad in my ear. So you're starting to see kind of in general, YouTube and Google and the internet, it knows when you're looking at the screen. It knows when you're paying attention. I believe it actually knows through algorithms and through checking out how your eyes dilate and stuff like that. It can tell if you're enjoying a show even. That's what I think. I think they're doing a lot of body movement and body language reading. They're not going to expose you. They're not going to show videos of you in your house, but they're reading the computer's always reading the data. And I've said this before, that if you're online, we are the product. We are the product, just so you know. You watching is incredibly valuable to me. It's even more valuable to YouTube. I told you guys that I came out of animation. I created Earthworm Jim and the Neverhood and Cat Scratch. for Nickelodeon. And that's when I first started learning about how mass media works. But on all my TV shows I ever did for cartoons and stuff like that, the network never shared their advertising revenue with me. They just say, "Oh, Doug, here's your salary, make this cartoon." YouTube shares the ads that you guys watch. I think it's 50-50. I think I get half. No network I ever did cartoons for let me talk about politics any way I wanted. They never let me share the gospel any way I wanted. And then they never shared half the ad revenue with me. So when you watch a commercial, you go, "Oh, I'm paying Doug to do the news." Just remember that. It doesn't cost you any money. It's just your attention that they're paying for. That's how we do it. Let's see. This is Johnny Maverick, 9610, $5 super chat. Are you still doing the Ross Givens event this week? Speaking of dough, how do I go? Okay. Some of you want to go. This is really a fun time. In fact, I'm going to wait. I'm going to make you wait to tell you how to do it. I do have the link in the description. But first, I want to finish this thought with what would happen if, I just want the chat to tell me, and I'll get right to your question there, Johnny Maverick, right after this. What would happen if someone went to Joe
Then there's the whole issue.
Someone from the opposite political party went to Joe Biden's house with a shotgun to shoot him? What do you guys think would happen? Listen to this guy.
Then there's the whole issue of a man being shot inside Mar-a-Lago, which was, again, I just saw NBC. They did like 3 minutes. I'm like, well, they're going to give their mandatory 12 minutes to Nancy Guthrie. They even announced this morning, the Today Show, more questions than answers. Let's talk about this for 12 minutes, although we have absolutely nothing to tell you.
Look, they can't cover this because this would be the third assassination attempt that we know of against Donald Trump in recent months. And that runs contrary to the left's narrative that it's the Republicans and it's conservatives who are violent.
Right.
It's not.
Well, that's Media Matters. Those guys are media geniuses, by the way. That's an incredible point. They can't cover the third assassination attempt on Trump because it just goes against all of the marketing and media they've been saying, which is that Republicans are white, racist, dangerous with their guns. And really, these are all left-wing Democrat lunatics trying to shoot the president. By the way, if you're going to make an argument that anyone incited everything, remember they said that Trump incited a riot on J6, and there's no proof of that. We don't know how much influence he has over these people. But if there is such a thing as inciting someone else to do something, the Democrats' rhetoric is much worse than Trump saying to go peacefully protest and march over. They're not saying that. They're saying Trump is an existential threat. They're saying he is Hitler. They're saying he's a totalitarian. He's in control. The things that my left-wing artist friends post about Trump is absolute lunacy. I go, if you believe that about the president, no wonder why you guys keep trying to take a shot at him. You know what I'm saying? I'll let this guy finish it. Media Matters.
The left that's violent. And of course, all the data shows in the last couple of years that the violence is coming largely from the left.
I will raise you that ABC, when they did talk about it, Pierre Thomas kind of tried to both sides it by trying to say, this is a threat environment that everybody's facing. Yeah, you're like, okay, this is the most dangerous time for elected officials since like 9/11 or something.
I think
what he was trying to say.
I think we can guess that if an armed individual with a shotgun showed up outside Joe Biden's place in Delaware, either one of them, or if they showed up on Obama's
National
doorstep,
crisis.
it would be a much bigger story.
That is a bit understated. If someone with a shotgun showed up when Barack Obama and everyone said like America, is racist and they hate him. If a Republican showed up with a shotgun on his doorstep, what would the news cycle be like today? Or if they went and showed up at Biden's house or Kamala Harris's house, it'd be like black women are just in big trouble with whites Republicans are violent and trying to kill them. This story vanished overnight completely. Oh, it's just another assassination attempt on Trump. Oh, those wacky You know, they went to his house. If this happened to Biden or a Democrat, guys, it would be 24/7 rammed down our throat. They would all be demanding an explanation from us. They'd go, you owe us an explanation. Shouldn't you be telling your side to downplay the violence? Shouldn't you be, why don't you condemn your side in public and demand that they tone down the rhetoric? There's no where's the Democrat demanding the tone? Hey guys, we got to tone down the rhetoric.
Right.
What does this mean psychologically? Like CNN and MS Now would have panels saying, talking about how this is not an isolated incident. This is part and parcel of MAGA and the general collective psyche of tens of millions of Americans. Whereas when something like this happens, they're treated, again, as a very isolated incident. The individual and only the individual is responsible. There's no greater narrative out there. It's kind of just placed in a vacuum.
Yeah. Do you guys hear that? That's wisdom. These guys are great. Media Matters, I follow them on Twitter. They're fantastic on all this stuff. And I totally agree with them on that takedown. It would be a giant psychological psychologically, what are we going to do about these shooters, guys? By the way, thanks for the thumbs up. You guys did it. We went from, you double every time you give us a thumbs up. So see, we went from 1,100. Now we're up to 2,200 viewers. You just doubled my audience and you doubled the pleasure. That means there's more people to have fun and make fun of me for having my thin California blood when I run for a mere 4 miles in the frozen tundra. You know what freaks me out? Maybe you guys can tell me what's going on, but I'm running past these cow fields and it's 22 degrees out and I see like 3 robins in the grass. And I go, that's a little tiny scrawny bird. Imagine those skinny little legs, those little twig legs touching like icy ground covered in ice. That's a little tiny bird. They have like 100-degree body temperature. I'm like, why isn't that thing just falling over dead? He's happy. He's out in 20 degrees, this little tiny bird, 3 robins. I go, what are you doing outside, guys? That's what I wonder about when I go running. Okay, now we're going to get back to that super chat real quick. Are you still doing the Ross Givens event this week? How do I go? Yeah, this is on Wednesday, guys. I'll show you the countdown panel here because you guys know I've been pushing this. My buddy Ross Givens is an amazing stock picker. I got Robinhood on my phone and I put a couple grand in there. I'm not asking you guys, no one should be reorienting their retirement, but I'm trying to multiply my wealth and not just store wealth, my earning. I go, look, I need to double it. I need to double it. So Ross has a track record of tripling it. Now that doesn't mean that's going to be future results or anything, so I'm not making any promises on it, but he is my guy. He does stock picks and I just bought another. He gave me a pick today and he'll do it to you. But first, this is the seminar you're going to go to. The link's in the description. You're going to click register now. And then my buddy made this graphic. Look at these handsome guys. The website is dougsinsiders.com. It's my inside people. If you want to know about how some of my finances work, this is how it works. That's Ross Givens. And we partner on these programs where he just gives you I think it's a 45-minute or a 1-hour seminar on Wednesday. That's coming up February 25th at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's 2 p.m. Central. Coming up Wednesday. That's a day after tomorrow. And you can scan that QR code. I always love when those QR codes come on screen because I'm an old man. And I have to get my phone up to take a picture of it. I'm like, don't take it off screen. And as soon as I get my phone up to take a picture of it and go to the website, it vanishes. So I'm hoping you guys are just now fumbling for your phones and then you won't be able to click that thing. And instead, you're going to click and take a picture of the horror that is Adam Schiff's melon-like head. He is explaining how tomorrow is, some of you guys may not know, but tomorrow is Trump's inauguration speech, and the Democrats are talking about how they're going to skip it. just to be rude and to be petty and to be, oh, I forgot to tell you about that Ross Givens thing. Link is in the description, and it's going to be the first pinned comment when this thing goes into replay, but you go to dougsinsiders.com, blah, 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 in the description. And now no one can describe the shape of this man's head outside of it being a water balloon or maybe a melon. I think if you colored that green, that would be an exact watermelon shape. But here he is saying why this is, I know these clips are hard to even watch because this guy is so duplicitous and reptilian on why he's not going to show up. It's 37 seconds, guys.
Donald Trump is violating the law and Constitution. He is ignoring court orders. He has weaponized the Justice Department to go after his enemies. He is letting loose ICE troops in our streets that are getting people killed. I will not be attending the State of the Union. I've never missed one. I have always gone both to inaugurations and to States of the Union, but we cannot treat this as normal.
Now it's just a bridge too far. He's always gone to the inauguration, but now whatever Trump's doing this week, his tariffs and ICE agents are just out of control. That crossed a line for Adam Schiff. Now I won't be going. You know, Joe Biden released, allowed 11 to 20 million illegals come over our border and allowed 300,000 children to be trafficked in. And Adam Schiff said that I'm going to attend that guy's State of the Union. It's State of the Union, sorry. And Trump's State of the Union, that's a line he lowered taxes too much.
This is not business as usual. I will not give him the audience he craves for the lies that he tells.
Guys, tell me in the chat below, does Trump crave Adam Schiff in his audience? Adam Schiff, do not flatter yourself.
I'll be outside the Capitol with Midas Touch and move on for the people's state.
Oh, Midas Touch, another YouTube channel, the liberal YouTube channel. Midas Touch and MoveOn.org, they're doing their counter-programming State of the Union outside the Capitol. That's almost worth seeing if Jasmine Crockett gets up there and starts yapping. But I will be covering this. I don't know if I'll be doing it live, but man, I'm almost tempted to cover the Democrat one instead of Trump's State of the Union, just to barf all over them for however long they go.
The Union, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, 8 p.m. So it's 7 p.m. tomorrow. Central is my time, and 8 p.m. Eastern is when we do the State of the Union. What kind of hysterics can you expect? I know this clip's been going around today on the internet. It's Chuck Schumer going nuts.
We're not.
Mr. President, Americans breathed a brief sigh of relief.
Grieved a brief sigh of breathed, a brief sigh of a breathed, a grief sigh, breathed a relief.
Last week, when the Supreme Court knocked out Trump's harmful tariff proposals. Americans are suffering because Donald Trump is raising tariffs.
They're suffering. Are you guys feeling the suffering because of those tariffs yet? I do believe Americans financially are strapped because it's taking so long to recover from Biden's complete fiasco. That's how I would spin it. I think a number of things kicked our economy in the crotch. Well, the biggest one being COVID. And that is a alleged virus that was made by China. I don't know who made it, but I'm just saying we had the strongest economy before COVID came was under Trump in recent history. I'm talking like 30 years, the strongest economy. And then COVID hits. I'm just suspicious of that. You guys know I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but that was a man-made virus, came out of a lab. Very interesting that when it happened to get out there. I don't know any facts about that. I'm just telling you.
People pay more for so many daily goods, so many groceries, for cars, for homes, for everything.
I'm going to disqualify him right now because he didn't say anything when inflation hit under Biden. So you don't care. Okay, this man, I know some people care. I don't know of a Democrat that cares if they didn't say anything under Biden when inflation was much worse, when literally the price of groceries were much worse. And they were brought up under Biden. And so you guys, I think many of you, my audience is pretty clever. I think you can figure it out. It's very easy for inflation to jump things up, it's very hard to get inflation back down. Once they go up and everyone has to raise their prices because it's too much money chasing too little goods, the price goes up on everything. It is very hard to have enough successful quarters that start driving the prices back down. Because if you're a store, let's say you're selling 12 eggs for $12 a dozen, a buck an egg, you're going to go, well, it really should be down to $7 a dozen, but I've lost a ton of money in the last 2 years, and now I got to make it back, and I'm making good profits now on these overpriced eggs. So how long does it take for competition to drive the price back down? The only thing that drives prices down is competition. That is, the store next door is selling their eggs for $11 or $10 a dozen, or down, it might even be down to $5 a dozen on a special to get you in the store. And that's what starts driving the price down. It takes a long time once prices go up to drive prices back down. Chuck Schumer knows it. He knows they only have a little bit of time to try to kick Trump over the economy. And I don't know what Trump's going to do. I suspect that with the Supreme Court announcing that the IEEPA Emergency Act tariffs, that they demanded that he take them down, and Trump instantly raised a 15% worldwide tariff that was legal. So he took down the illegal ones that were 10%, and he goes, fine, how about I raise a 15% one for the whole world? And so he's winning. But that's just Trump. He's exerting control. He's showing the world that he's in control. I believe it's the same thing with Iran, guys. No one wants to go to war. Trump doesn't want to go to war. But for my isolationists in the audience, I want to see if I can convince you. Look at that. We're up to 2,800 viewers, guys. Thanks for the thumbs up. I'm going to give you guys a speculation, because everyone pretends like Trump. They're like, why would you just preemptively go take shots at Iran? Why would you have the largest military insertion in recent history, probably since the Gulf War? Why would you suddenly swell it up in Iran? What if Trump has intelligence that China is looking at making a threat to us, some kind of a military threat? Say they're going to bomb San Francisco, the California coast. What if he had that real intelligence and he goes, how about I do a giant military parade for the entire world to see? I'm going to go kick some sand in Iran's face for them trying to dig their nuclear facilities back out of the crater that he made. And they have satellite images of it. And he's going to go, how about I send all of our military there for the whole world, especially China, to see this armada, this mass, and it's a massive flex. So he could just go in and do a little pinprick in Iran, enough to destabilize them, because they're already destabilized. He already knows that the freedom fighters are on the ground protesting. They want the Ayatollahs gone. And then the Iran corrupt leadership turned the power off, shot, we believe they murdered minimum 10,000 of their own citizens. It could be as high as 120,000 people when the lights went out. I remember this is a country that has made an assassination attempt on Trump. They have funded around the world terrorism on our allies, so we're totally justified in doing it, although Trump is not going to Congress to get a formal act of war announced. But he can just do a little pinprick strategy, and that is marketed to China. Do you guys think that justifies it? Don't you think? Don't you trust that he might have a plan? He might have a moral imperative to do it, but just can't tell us? That's a lot of trust. I don't need him to tell me. I trust him that much. I do need Biden to tell me more. I needed Karine Jean-Pierre to tell me more about how that guy was running the country when he couldn't complete a sentence. So yeah, I do like more information if I don't basically trust you. Here's Raskin doing the same, absolute, turning himself inside out over Trump.
No president ever transformed the entire machinery of the federal government into an instrument of political propaganda, censorship, and repression the way that Donald Trump has.
Is that true? Propaganda, censorship, and oppression like the DEI? The gay race-based communism that the Biden administration did for 4 years? Where was Jamie Raskin at? What do you mean no one has converted the government into a propaganda machine like Biden did, who said white mega MAGA Republican supremacists are America's greatest threat and environmentalism was our greatest threat? And then he went in and made the military pay for trans surgeries and lowered the standards to allow more unqualified people into the military, renamed a destroyer, a military vessel, the Harvey Milk, a gay child, you know what? These people, they're all hubris. Hey, look, it's my mom. My mom just called. Let me check in on her real quick. Mom, I'm on the air, so now you're on the air.
Oh, brother.
Mom.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't apologize.
I had my phone in my purse and I had it on silence because I was getting my therapy this morning and I forgot about it. So
Okay, tell my audience what kind of therapy you're on, because then they'll think you're in mental therapy, like that you're going nuts.
sometimes I think I need that. No, I'm having physical therapy on my knee replacement that I had in January.
You got a brand new knee.
I have a new knee.
New knee at 80 something young. We'll call you 79 for the audience.
Thanks a lot.
You kill me. All right, I'll call you back when I get off the air, okay?
Okay. Thanks.
Love you so. Bye.
Love you.
That's my mom, Sharon Tenaple, everybody. I love her so. Oh my goodness, she cracks me up. Did you hear that, guys? Isn't she just the sweetest thing ever? I love her. She makes me teary-eyed. She's, my last parent left. I lost my papa 2 years ago, but she, all I can say is she was faithful to my dad, and he was a tough guy to be married to. She was faithful to him. And I was the only artist, in the family. Like I was the standout weirdo. And she stood by me and encouraged me and loved me. I just remember, I just love her so. Anyways, she got a new knee, so pray for my mom's knee. Will my Exile audience remember to pray for my mom's new titanium knee? I would appreciate that. And I love her so. And she's praying for my son, Johnny, who's in Kilo Company out at Paris Island in boot camp right now. Couple weeks in. He has not quit and he hasn't been injured. So that's an answer to prayer. He's still hanging in there, buddy. Crawling through the mud, getting screamed at. So recruit, give me 100 push-ups right now. I'm so excited. That's part of my inspiration for my running too, in 22-degree weather, as I admire the robins for not being as big of a crybaby as I am, because I was fighting off woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers. I was so on the moon, on the Arctic moon, that I had my guide, my Sherpa, my Inuit guide. I clubbed a baby seal. I pulled strips of fat off to eat to survive the entire run. I had to grab his pelt and put it over me. To survive my run, I only had to kill one baby seal. Speaking of killing baby seals, yeah, give us a thumbs up, my people. Hit them thumbs up, Sabrina. You know it, gal. Sabrina, on the ball. See that wrench? That's my moderators. On the ball. Jamie Raskin, who has no honor. I can't believe I mentioned my son and my mom's name in close proximity to this reptile.
As aspiring presidential dictators go, he is simply in a class by himself, which is why America now has a No Kings movement of tens of millions of Americans that has risen up to counter him.
I haven't even knew it. No Kings movement. It's been a while since I heard that branding. Yeah, it's really huge, Jamie. It's all the rage. The No Kings movement. Has anyone in my audience heard the No Kings movement name brought up in the last month? Anybody? The chat. Have you heard the No Kings movement?
Trump makes no pretense of respecting any part of the First Amendment. He merges his insatiable greed and his authoritarian politics with his snarling dictatorial desire to stamp out any political, legislative, social, cultural, or intellectual expression that he personally.
It's ranking Judiciary Committee member. He's a ranking member from Maryland. Maryland, I don't know. Now I'm going to go to that. I did a video on this earlier on Gavin Newsom being an abject racist. I'm going to show you Greg Gutfeld just shredding him.
They're tired of all the smart people. And his strategy is, I'm just like you. I'm stupid. And this is his way of subverting his reputation as a silver-spooned elitist. But it says something that's worse. I think it says, I got this far despite my bad grades, despite my laziness, despite my womanizing. I am a true elitist because whenever this rich kid partied too much, got kicked out at wherever, mommy and daddy pulled strings. I'm the rich white guy that didn't have to work that hard. My SATs the number is rarely more than me just signing my name. I think you get 600 for that. I don't know. It's stupid signaling. We used to have virtue signaling. Now we have stupid signaling.
Everyone's got to bump up their testimony on how tough they had it. I got to be like, guys, I was raised on dirt. I was raised on dirt. But guys, I was raised on dirt. I had to, walk to school uphill both ways in the snow. It was tough. I had it tough. Gavin Newsom, you had it so tough. He often had to walk an extra block to get his hair gel. And now he can identify with the suffering of Rosa Parks. Good job, Gavin Newsom. You poor, poor guy. Look at that. Breck Nichols, member for 4 months. Thank you. Doug, keep trying to send you a super chat with a gift for your son, but it won't let me. Help, help. Look at that. A guy's trying to give me money. And YouTube's making sure I can't get it. You know what? Just your prayers for my son, John. Just pray that he has courage. Pray that he has courage. And I would take that over your money any day. How's that? Here's White Waltz, $10 super chat. Doug, only place for King's move is in arm wrestling. It is specific. Desperation move. Used by arm wrestlers to survive an overwhelming attack by their opponent. King's move, look it up. Okay, $10 super chat to look up the King's move. I'll let Gutfeld.
So the thing is that him being dim is a sign of depth, which is insulting to the audience, right? I would never do that. I compliment the audience by expecting them to keep up with me. I will not dumb anything down unless, of course, Kill Meat is on.
You have to.
Then you have to. You have no choice.
Yeah, Kill Meat. You got to dumb it down for him. There's Jessica Tarloff remaining polite and quiet. Good girl. She looks good in white, which I'm sure she couldn't wear on her wedding day. Here's Andrew Colvett. CNN and MS Now refused to air President Trump's ceremony this morning honoring the angel families. This is how deplorable they are. He had this event. Let me find the families here. And there's no sound on this clip. I'm so sorry, guys, but look at that room. This is this was broadcast from the White House.
Fake stories. And I said, it was good because this is really a much more powerful term than I would have had if I had run, because it was just one of those things. There would be nothing to compare it to. And now they compare it to Biden and that horrible, horrible administration. And I mean it, it is more powerful. Our military is much more powerful. We rebuilt it mostly in the first term. Then they gave away a chunk of it. And as much as it was, it's very small relatively, Tom. But we gave it to the Taliban. Just walked out. We could have taken it with us. They said, oh, I think it's cheaper to leave the planes.
Can you imagine being in the military? I feel bad. I love our military. Can you imagine being in the military when Biden ran from Afghanistan and left all of that $80 billion worth of military hardware over there, and our servicemen did die. And then Biden turned around and said no one died on his watch. That's sick. Democrats are sick liars. It's infuriating. So, but you know what? I don't spew. We don't spew. Don't spew. We win. We vote in 2026 because that's all the Democrats don't want us to do. They'll go, we will let you spew all you want. Call us all the names you want. Whatever you do, don't vote. Whatever you do, MAGA, stay divided. Stay divided. You know, Israel's pretty bad, so don't vote. Eggs are pretty expensive, so don't vote. Trump didn't do enough redacting on the Epstein and alien UFO files, so don't trust the government. Don't vote. Can the Democrats remove your energy? How much do you hate your country if you don't vote? I need my In Exile patriots. Thumbs up if you're going to vote. Click. How many of my exile patriots are going to vote? I'm going to vote no matter what. I don't care what it takes. I don't care if it's 20 degrees outside. I will run out to the polls and vote in 2026. That's the one thing the Democrats don't want. And I will vote for any Republican over any Democrat. Look, I don't care if you're in Maine. You vote for Susan Collins. Now, you heard me say that. People were like, I'm in Maine. I'm not excited about voting for Susan. By the way, she's the only Republican that can win in Maine. And Murkowski has Alaska all jacked up. I'm not going to do some MAGA guy that's getting 2% to try to primary a Murkowski. Like, you have to be able to win. You have to be in the polls getting close, like within the 5% range to the top guy. And then I'll consider primarying some of these people and taking them out. Because Trump is still not going for Paxton or Wesley Hunt over Cornyn in Texas. And that's because he does not want it. He does not want to hand that state over to Democrat lunatics like Jasmine Crockett. We got to be tactical. Sorry for the purists out there. I'm pure about winning. I'm very pure about winning. Got to win. Here's part of how I know that Trump is going to go boom, boom on Iran. Because here's new, the Indian government urges its citizens in Iran to depart. Modi of India is saying, get out, my friend, get out. He's saying, get out. So our allies all know what's coming. They've all been warned. I would give it till next weekend is if I had to guess. Now, it's not just Gavin Newsom, who's a filthy racist, who said that the black audience can relate to him because he too has low SAT scores, was what he said. Remember this one? This is one of my favorite all-time Biden quotes. This is the Asian and Latino coalition pack. The Asians and the Latinos got together to support Joe Biden. And here's what he said.
And the other thing we should do is we should challenge these students. We should challenge students in these schools to have advanced placement programs in these schools. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Oh, no. Did he just say that out loud? Poor kids are just as smart and talented as white kids. What a filthy racist these people are. And it just flows off the tongue. It just flows. He didn't have to even think hard about it. It just fell right out of his mouth. Poor kids are just as smart and talented as white kids. And he already knew, like, hey, the press is going to cover for me. The press ain't going to get me. If this was Trump, can you imagine? MS Now and CNN, they would tattoo the words on their forehead that Trump said. That's how wall to wall the coverage would be if Trump said that. Well, here, I'll play it again.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids,
Yeah,
black
clap.
kids, Asian kids.
Clap,
I really mean,
Asian-
but think how we think about it.
Clap, Asians and Latinos, they clapped. Poor kids are just as talented as white kids. Clap, everybody. Democrats. I couldn't believe it when Gavin Newsom said, hey, I think I can relate to this audience because, like you guys, hey, I have a low SAT score. And the black guy on the stage applauded him. Like, Democrats, they don't care about even their own racial pride or ethnic pride or whatever you want to call it. It's just Democrats, guys. It's leftism. That's their only religion. It's their only value. Grab power. I don't care if I have to burn my own. I don't care if I have to sit here with a guy like Joe Biden on stage. It's sick. It's insane. Newsom, low SAT scores. Thumbs up, guys. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have incredible sticking power. Look at that. We're surging. We're at like 3,000 is like one of the biggest records for my channel. Did you know that? 3,000 simultaneous viewers are in this room right now. That's huge for my channel. My ego, is going to be big until I step out of the shower and I look at my face up close and I look at my 59-year-old face. Ooh. If I didn't have scar tissue, I'd have no tissue at all on my face. I've had so many skin cancer surgeries. My whole face is like a giant gougy scar. And I think it gives me character, maybe, like Captain Ahab from Moby Dick, having the big scar. So that's going to wrap our show up. I'm going to put this graphic up. Let's put this graphic up here because I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to do this stock trading thing on Wednesday with my buddy Ross Givens. He will teach you everything. If you feel like you're dumb, he will make you smarter. He made me smarter. And you just hit this register. There's a link in the description to the DougsInsiders.com. You hit register now. And then you go to, it's a free webinar on Wednesday. You'll get a message saying, hey, go to this thing. Or you could take a picture of the CAPTCHA and it'll take you to the website. But I don't like doing that because I'm old. I don't like taking the picture of the CAPTCHA. But some of you are just tech smarter than me. Look at that handsome guy in the picture. Look at me there. Holy smokes. I think that's a 10-year-old headshot of me. Might be 10 years old. Look at my beard. It's got color in it. I used to have a brownish black beard. Look at how my hair's so thick in the front, you can't see my scalp looking right through it. Man, I used to be semi-handsome. I'm 59. I must have been 49 years old there. Woo! But you know what? This is what's weird about my health. And this is my message to all you guys about your health. So link in the description. You're going to sign up for that. And I'm going to see you guys on Wednesday. We're going to have a lot of fun at that seminar. And I don't want you to miss out. But I do exercise to feel better. I just want to feel better and have more energy going through me. Some of you are obese. Some of you do not get out of your chair. And I want to encourage you and say, I care about you and I want you to get up and move. My mom got a new knee. She's like 80-something years old. She got a new knee. And so she can stand up and walk around some more. And so if she can do that, then it's not too late for you to get up, walk around a little bit. If you're in your easy chair, move your arms, and you just keep doing things a little bit harder. It might take months, before you feel a difference. But I want to make sure that you guys are eating good food, eat your good food, get lots of rest. You already know all this. Drink lots of water. And you have to get up and move. And also use your brain. I want you to think about things and read things that you don't normally read. If you've never read Moby Dick, get started on Moby Dick, or get an audio book and listen to it, and continue to improve yourself, because you're not done. I'm telling you, I'm not giving up. I'm 59 years old. And if I live to have another 30 years on this earth, I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep exploring. I'm going to keep drawing. I'm going to keep loving my wife. I'm going to keep loving my Lord. I'm going to keep fighting for my country, even if I'm the last man standing. And now I've got a son in the Marines. Thank you guys for the prayers. You guys really do sustain me and this show. And I can't thank you enough for it. I'm going to jump now. Have a great evening, because Trump is still maintaining total control. I'm Doug. And even more important than Trump, Trump's not perfect. His control is imperfect. We have a perfect God, and he's in control. I'm Doug, in exile.